Posy Bars, kinfolk, Chef Beno here, and welcome to another episode of Midnight Vegan. Za! So for our dish tonight, we're going to be making something that's inspired by our brothers and sisters down in the Caribbean. How about a Jamaican Jerk Cauliflower, yo? On top of a bed of coconut rice with peas and mixed vegetables, a side of fried plantains with cayenne pepper, oh, and an upside down pineapple and cherry biscuit. How does that sound for ya, huh? Alright, man, let's get to it! Alright, so what you need first is your oven bag. You can find these at any of your local grocery stores. And pull out your twist tie as well. You'll need that. What I'm gonna do first is put about a capful, probably about a teaspoon of oil in here. My favorite to go with when cooking vegetables in the oven is grapeseed oil. So I'm gonna put that in the bag so it doesn't stick too much to the bag. Gives us an ability to cook. Depending upon how well I feel like it's covering the cauliflower, you might put a little bit more on at the end. And then, like I said, the cauliflower, it's already been rinsed thoroughly. Quick trick, when you buy the cauliflower heads, it comes with that big stalk at the bottom of it. If you dive in deep with your knife and cut around that and pull that out, you can just let the rest of the cauliflower drumettes fall apart. And shouts out to moms for putting me down with that, yo. Love you out here, Mama Nettie, doing your thing. But now we have more of a chicken style cauliflower than if you would have chopped it up and made it look like these big old Lego pieces that make no sense eating, if you know what I mean. Alright, so you're gonna put those in our bag, kind of mush them around a little bit. And now we're gonna add some of our seasonings. My favorite right here is this Cajun Creole that we're gonna be using. There's just some flavors that I feel like really bring out the flavor when it comes to cooking cauliflower and veggies. Mainly, it's the chili pepper, the allspice, the thyme, cloves, mace, bay leaf, and lemon peel that makes it super fire. So we're just gonna go ahead and give a little covering to these with that. As well, we'll add salt and pepper, a little bit of nutritional yeast for us vegans out there so we get some protein, as well as a good dose of vitamin B12. Indeed, put that over here. You also are going to need some pineapple juice and some citrus too, like lemon or orange. Put that in there. And just for a little bit of color separation, we're going to throw in just a tad bit of cilantro. Man. They already smell good all together. Now what we're going to do, we have our pineapple juice right here. I'm going to take about a cup of pineapple juice, see if I can get the majority of the cauliflower somewhat submerged with just a cup. You might need to add a little bit more, depending on the size of your Pyrex dish and how much cauliflower you are cooking. This is an old southern trick my mom put me on as well. Give us a little bit more of a shake. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do 2 cups of this, probably a cup also of some lemon juice. That citrus is important, baby, because we want it to be, that sweet. And just a little bit of sour, a little bit of hot, a little bit of spicy. Yeah. Bet. That's looking good. Alright. Then we'll close this up, poke a few holes on it, and throw it in the oven. Za. Alright, next, we're going to work on our rice. And since I have such a deep unbreakable bond with rice. We're going to be making a couple of cups of it, if you know what I mean. So what I got here is a rice blend. It's basmati rice as well as with brown and red rice and wild rice too. So we're going to do 2 cups of that in our rice cooker. We're going to put in, the right amount of water, so about twice as many cups of water. Once it starts to get nice and going, we're going to add a little bit of coconut milk to that and a couple of seasonings and herbs as well. All right, let's throw that in there. So we got that cauliflower cooking in the oven right now. It's already smelling bomb. Over here, in our rice cooker, we done put 2 cups of rice with a little bit of coconut milk and some water. It's just getting started. That's going to take about 20 minutes or so. So now it's time to get started on our mixed veggies. So what we have over here, we got a couple of peppers, zucchini, crooked neck squash, some onions, and this big old bowl of red cabbage. So we're going to do the cabbage separate because it cooks a lot faster, kind of like collard greens or kale. So that will be separate in a different pan. We just chop up these veggies right here, throw them in our pan with some oil, and gets to cooking. On another note, positive vibes, kinfolk. I am so proud of everyone right now doing everything they can for the people. I had a wonderful conversation today with people from all walks of life who are just up in arms of what's going on. I'm glad folk are so conscious of what's happening and trying to give back. So shouts out to the freedom fighters, the frontline workers, everyone doing what they can right now. That's why I want to do something special with Midnight Vegan. So I'm starting a program called Food for the People. That means that 25% of all sales from Midnight Vegan will be going towards local organizations that help those who need healthy food in their lives. I've picked 2 in particular right now. Metro Caring Bank, it's a food bank out here in Denver, Colorado, and also the Colorado Black Health Initiative. So just think about that. These meals are going to be $20. That means $5 from every meal will be going back to the community, so you know that you have a hand in helping somebody else in need right now, And that's just because I'm so inspired by people and what they can do, and I know that, hey, I can cook, and so I want to make sure people can eat well. So positive vibes, like, keep doing your thing, man, because you know what? We gonna do it. Zah. Alright, we just pulled out the cauliflower. Smells amazing. Now we're going to add some of our sauce to it. So I'm going to add, like I said, this pick a pepper sauce. I have about, about 3/4 left. I'll probably use the whole jar of that. And probably just a little bit of the sesame teriyaki sauce to go on top of it. Then it's back into the oven for about another 15 to 20 minutes to let that cook. Alright. Now that we got our cauliflower back in there for a second round to really cake on that sauce, and we got our rice over here. Oh, it's looking good, it's looking good. I first started off with our vegetables by throwing in our onions, our red onions. We'll let those caramelize for a little while. Then we'll throw in our peppers, zucchini, and crooked neck yellow squash. Alright, zah. Alright, now with our onions looking nice and caramelized, we'll go ahead and throw in our red and orange peppers. We'll let those get nice and heated up. And I'll also add a couple of herbs to this. I'm thinking some salt and some pepper. Probably a little bit of my herb blend I have over here. It's always delicious. Also gives a nice pop of green color to everything. Oh yes, and of course a little bit of rosemary to go with it as well. We'll let these go for a little bit before we add our zucchini and yellow squash. And now, since those are looking nice and good, let's go ahead and add the zucchini, and yellow squash. Our last addition will be the peas and mixed veggies to go along with this. But as for now, this is all it's going to be able to fit in our pan. So they come down some. Just a little bit more herbs on top of that. Yeah, baby. And our rice looks like it's almost ready. We getting there, all right. Bet, yo, it's hot. I cut my hair and I'm still hot. Woo, we getting there, we getting there. We all done with our veggies. Za. That's looking good. Also finished up with our rice. Peep game. Za. That's looking good. So next we get into this cabbage right here. Yep. Some of the pieces are a little bit harder because it was a big head of cabbage, so it might take longer than usual. But we're taking it and putting it in our pan with a little bit of grapeseed oil. Hit it with some seasoning, probably some sweetener. I got some agave in there and a little bit of vegetable stock. And we'll cook it like we're cooking greens. Za. We got our red cabbage with a little bit of oil. We're going to add some regular seasonings to it. I got some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of cayenne, a little bit of some Italian herbs to it. We're also going to add a little bit of water to help this kind of really cook down and simmer. And then once it starts to turn a little bit more so, we'll add our vegetable stock to it. So that's it now. Just looking good. The jerk cauliflower is all done. Baby. Oh yeah, I took it out the bag. I had a little bit too much pineapple juice in there, so I had a hard time making the sauce stick. So next time when I make it, I'll use really a small amount of pineapple juice. But look, man, like that looks delicious right there, man. Let me see what one tastes like. Let's see. Ooh, it's hot. Yeah, that cabbage is looking good. It has been taking longer than expected, about an extra like 10 minutes or so. But at this point, I'm going to add a little bit of our sweetener. I have some agave here. And I'm just going to sprinkle that in on top and let this cook for a few more minutes until some of the bigger pieces I see are really soft and tender. So while we're waiting on our cabbage and before we start making our biscuit, I'm going to do a little bit something to the rice. I'm going to put about a spoonful of this into our rice. It's called jalfrezi coconut curry. It's a delicious coconut curry sauce, one of my favorites. It's vegan. It's also nut-free. And so we'll put about a spoonful into the rice just to give it a nice splash of flavor to waken it up. And it also is going to offset the wonderful flavors we're going to have with our vegetables, with our peas, with our peppers, and our zucchini and squash. And I think it's going to mix really well with the jerk cauliflower. So we'll do a spoonful of that in the rice, and then it's on to making our biscuit. Alright folks, we only got 2 more dishes left. We have our fried plantains, and that's only going to take a few minutes, so we'll save that for last. But up next, we have our upside down pineapple and cherry biscuits that we're making. And with this dish, we're going to need a few ingredients. We need some vegan butter, coconut oil, coconut milk, and coconut sugar. We'll need some gluten-free baking flour, optional corn grits, polenta, and coconut flour. I'll also mix in some applesauce, some canned pineapples, cherries, and then your regular baking ingredients, baking soda and baking powder. I'll show the measurements later, but honestly, I think it's going to be really exciting. The first thing we're going to do is put in our vegan butter and some coconut sugar. We're going to let that cook in the oven at 350 degrees for about 2 minutes, just till it gets bubbly. At that point, we'll add in our pineapples and cherries, and then we'll start putting our mix in our bowl, whisk it up, throw it together, and all of that's going into the oven for about 25 or so minutes until it has the right consistency. But yeah, all right, let's get started. Zah. So we're going to get our batter ready first. So what we're going to do first is take a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. Then we're going to do a 1/2 cup of pineapple juice. And then we'll put in 1/2 cup of coconut milk. Then we'll put in a 1/4 cup of our coconut sugar. And then we'll whisk this all together before we add the rest of our dry ingredients. Whisk, 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 whisk. Whisk, 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 whisk. Whisk, 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 whisk. That's looking good. All right, now it's time to add our dry ingredients to this. We'll do a 1/2 cup of our gluten-free baking flour. And then we'll do a 1/4 cup of our polenta corn grits. We'll do a 1/2 cup of our coconut flour. We'll do 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, as well as 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. It's about 1/2 pack of this Santa Cruz applesauce. And then we whisk, 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 whisk. Whisk, 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 whisk. That's looking good. I added in another 1/4 cup of pineapple and coconut milk just to get it a better consistency, as well as a little bit of cinnamon, some turmeric, and some salt. So turmeric for color, cinnamon and salt just to give it a good little pop of flavor. All right, now what we're gonna do is take about 1/2 teaspoon of butter, and we're gonna put it into our pans. I think I'm only gonna be able to make 2 or 3 of these with some coconut sugar and throw that in the oven. So, all right, we have put that in the oven for about 2 minutes. We let that sugar and that vegan butter boil. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our pineapple and cherry, put 1 in each, and then our batter on top of that. So, voila! And now these will go into the oven for about 25 minutes on 350. And while that cooks, we'll go ahead and fry up our plantain. All right, while our biscuits are cooking, let's work on our plantain. So we got a regular sized plantain over here. Typically the riper the plantain, meaning the more brown or black it is, the sweeter it will be. So I have these, I'm gonna save some of these for the weekend so they can get nice and dark like the original peoples of the earth. But in the meantime, this is pretty good. The yellow is already browning some, so this should give us a nice sweet kind of flavor. What we're gonna do is what I have here. A chopped up pallet of plantains. We're gonna have a little bit of salt. We'll add some grapeseed oil to our pan and just flip them. Fry them up till they get nice and caramelized and delicious to eat, yo. All right, yo. Let's get to it. We got our pan nice and hot. Let's go ahead and throw these plantains in there. We'll add just a little salt on top of them and let them go. Keep an eye on them for the most part. That's it, baby. Man, I can smell them biscuits going right now. All right, for sure. Oh man, these plantains. So good. Now we're just gonna put a little dash of some cayenne on it. Not too much, just a little to give it some spluck. What's that called? That's that spluck. Bet, yo. All right, let's put these to the side. Nice. Just pulled the biscuits out of the oven. They're still right side up. I'm gonna let them cool for a few minutes. Put a baking sheet over them. And then flip them. Meantime, I'm gonna take a little bit of a knife and make sure they hit before we do so. And here you have it, folks. We have our Jamaican jerk cauliflower with coconut rice, peas, and mixed veggies. Our delicious fried plantains with cayenne, sitting on a bed of sweet purple cabbage. And of course, the piece de resistance. Our pineapple and cherry upside down biscuit. Sayo. Thank you for tuning in to Midnight Vegan. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. And always, man, positive vibes. Sa. Zayo. Positive vibes, kinfolk. I can't wait to dig in, yo. Thank you for tuning in this evening. Of course, you can catch this meal this weekend by going to zoidarthouse.com or peeping my Instagram on zoidhim or the Midnight Vegan, yo. Let's see how it tastes, baby. Let's just get in here, you know. Get some of that rice and some of that cauliflower. Bomba clot! Oh, yes! Let me butter this plantain up. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, man. Yo. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. Love to all the Jamaicans out there. Love to all my people out here fighting hard, doing their thing. No matter what, man, keep shining, keep rising, and be you always. This is Chef Beno, yo. Stay posy. Za. I'm just gonna keep eating this, man. The way the rice hit. Ah! Should I try the biscuit? I'm gonna try the biscuit. Look how it fits so perfect. Let's see what it's talking about. Oh! Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. Okay. Peace, y'all.